10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining.
Oh.
Dire team pick. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Slaughter.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Life stealer.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team back. Ten seconds remaining.
think I had my microphone on that entire time.
Remaining.
Okay. Whatever. Well, we are here for game number 2 between Fire and Team Red. I think I'd rather just forget about that first game. Team Red just absolutely rolled over Fire, and Fire seemed to be a little bit stuck in the past. They've got the Shadow Demon and Luna here.
10 seconds remaining.
So,
5
yeah, it didn't really look too good for them at all. Team Red ran a Drow Ranger strat, and they also had Ryu's Weaver, which has been very good throughout most of the games. Now we see Fire as they go through their bans. They're trying to take out a lot of the heroes that Team Red either played or they know that they're very strong with. So that's going to allow Team Red to go with the Swatter and Lifesteal to start out here. Very strong combo there. And the Sand King gets banned away, as well as the Abyssal Underlord. So Fire, they're trying to get the they're trying to get a couple of heroes that they believe are pretty strong together. It would be interesting if they try to get the Ogre Magi with this one, just to talk about yeah, the very fast attack speed on Luna, also making the illusions a little bit better. If you can get the Bloodlust on those, would be able to push in lanes pretty quickly. They might decide to go with something a little bit different if they can get a Mirana, so they can get the setup with
10 seconds remaining.
the disruption into arrow. That could also work pretty well for them. And Team Red, with their standard start, that's basically what we see every time from Swatter and Lifesteal. They get their items up and then they go ganking. I think the important distinguishing characteristic here about the draft is if they go with the Swatter as support or as the offlaner, will probably affect how fast the Slardar can get his Blink Dagger, which is pretty important for the strategy to work, as we saw in the earlier series. I think it was Midas Club weren't really able to get the combo working soon enough.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Lina will be picked up by Team Red. That might be the Bloody 9 hero. Actually, I think he's played that a few times in mid. Would also be okay as a support, which I think is more likely from Team Red. Lina can definitely harass heroes pretty well with her long attack range, and also her spell output is fairly good as well. Looking at our bans here, the Darkseer banned out by Fire. Another one of those strong heroes. Another one of those strong heroes that is going to excel at getting heroes very close together. And the wall is just, I think, one of the... Although it doesn't do damage to heroes anymore, the slow is just absolutely ridiculous. And a lot of people tend to underestimate it. I think when it first came out, people would actually just walk through the wall and farm the illusions that came out of it. It doesn't really... It doesn't really give you all that much gold, because I think the illusions are capped at 5 gold per illusion. So farming it doesn't really do all that much if you're playing against the Darkseer. But still, it was funny to watch the first time that we saw that. Fire will pick up a Tidehunter here. We'll have to see how that works. I mean, it's very unlikely that he's going to get caught out. In fact, should be able to get away from the Swatter Lifesteal initiation. Also, any kind of stun initiation onto a Tidehunter. So we'll see how this guy does. Watermelon Man, definitely very popular. Hasn't been picked up as much as of late. But still can be pretty strong. And Team Red, they're going to be up to their next pickup here. They banned out the Ember Spirit with their last ban. I see a lot of teams tend to extend, or rather excel with that. Although, well, I mean, it just comes to how comfortable people are on the hero. Like you're gonna probably be forced to play that against a ranged hero in the mid lane if you're going to pick that up. So you just have to be able to work around your last hits and try to make it work out for you. And it looked like Suze was able to do so pretty well in the last series for Mad Kings. Fire picking up the Spirit Breaker here, possibly taking a page out of the last match. Trying to get some very tanky heroes. Seeing if tank can actually win. The Centaur didn't really do all that well for them in the last match, but heroes that are difficult to get through the HP for, obviously are going to live a little bit longer. We'll just have to see if this Life Stealer is able to get through his HP early, or if he's able to get some good farm. I always like to see some new heroes from Team Red. Jenkins, fairly good at drafting, and you can tell that his last draft, although it wasn't very imaginative with the draw lineup, it certainly executed very well. And it's forced Fire to really change their ban style as a result of that. They're getting banned out with the last one here for Fire. Templar Assassin's still in the pool, and that's usually a very popular last pickup for the teams. Might be also very good for Fire, since it is going to be able to get through the HP of Lifestealer. But they go with the Mirana instead.
Radiant team pick.
So, like I said, it goes well with the setup from Shadow Demon. You can get the disruption into Arrow. Does that mean that we're going to have a slightly different mid laner? I have a feeling that it should be Mirana mid, but maybe they surprised me and go for Tidehunter, which would probably be really bad. But we'll have to see. Team Red get the Tinker. Trying to stop this push from Fire. All these illusions are definitely going to give him quite a bit of gold if he can get the March of the Machines down. He just has to be aware that the Spirit Breaker could be charging around the map at him at pretty much any time in this game. I will remember to take the overlay off. I won it this time. So this will be our set of heroes for game number 2. Fire Dota currently down 1 games to 0, and these are their first games in the KOD League, and if they lose here they will be knocked out, which is kind of really anticlimactic for them. Sure, they definitely have a long way to come as a team, but Team Red haven't really shown too much strength in the KOD League at all, so they definitely did do well in the last match. We'll see if they can bring it back for this one. So here we go. Game number 2. Already gonna have a pause because loading into matches is hard. Apparently he does this every game. We can at least look at the poses for the heroes. So, oh my god. Is that... Are her legs above her head? I can't really... I'm pretty sure. That's her head. That's her foot. Yeah, I think so. Water is just laying on the ground. Tinker is getting into his machine or something. Bounty Hunter is looking at the ground. Blaster is in a pretty normal pose. If we look at the dire side, we've completely lost Brax. There's just a little shark showing above the ground there. Fluff and stuff is dropping down from the sky. Whitebeard is looking up at the sky, and TC is getting out of the ground as well. So some interesting poses here as we pause right when we get into the match. Hopefully we're able to get this started. Eventually. I think we've all reconnected. We are ready to go finally. So we'll be getting into game number 2 here. Yeah, her foot was above her head. She just does that weird twist when she gets in the game. So Team Red versus Fire. Team Red, they ended the game pretty quickly in the last one. Oh, we don't see who this belongs to anymore. I think that's pretty bad. Used to see who Battle Cups belong to. Looks like Source 2 changing, or rather this new update to Dota 2 changing a lot of things. And it might be a smoke on smoke here. got... Oh, they're going into the Roshan pit. And it's going to be broken here. Ryu coming up here. Monster can get the crush up onto a few. LSA is there as well. Whitebeard wants to be the first blood again. Arrow comes through onto the bounty hunter. They need to get him down. Martial Machine's doing a lot of damage. Whitebeard nearly dead, but the fluff and stuff goes away with fire. And look at that. LSA on the 3. They're going to get a big crush there as well. Brax needs to get away. He's got his anchor smash, but no, he's not going to be able to deny himself to Roshan. So it's going to be 2 kills over the way of Team Red. Whitebeard somehow staying alive, so I guess he didn't want to feed. The disruption kept him alive, and Fire get the first blood, but Team Red get a few more kills, which ends up being a gold advantage for them. Slight, but a gold advantage nonetheless. Team Fire were just grouping up there for a bunch of the AoE stuns that unfortunately for them came up off of cooldown very quickly. For Red, so they were able to have a little bit more of an advantage there. Jenkins popping the Observer Ward right on top of the rune spot there. Able to find the bounty rune. There is one still at bottom, and nobody really wants to go down there. Bottom's for noobs. So we'll get to the mid lane. It's gonna be Brink versus Bloody 9. And last time Bloody 9 very easily had the advantage there. Brink just throwing out the arrow. Trying to make things difficult for the Tinker. Getting a little bit of farm himself as well. Brink should be able to do okay with the last hitting, but the early game lane position is going to be in favor of the Tinker. At top, maybe some more... Oh, yeah, Fluff and stuff starting to put some damage out onto Ryu. Orb of Venom starting to go work there on both heroes. And at bottom, it's going to be Svardar versus Tidehunter, who probably has the advantage there just because he can do the backstroke. Backstroke's pretty OP. Much better than all the other strokes that Tidehunters can do, which is none. Ryu's chasing down Whitebeard a little bit. Should be able to harass him away, and just look at all the damage that Lee is able to do here with her longer range. Disruption out onto Ryu. He's right next to the Sentry Ward. He's going to be able to get away from here with Jenkins still putting out the harass. And Whitebeard's gonna... There's a charge out onto Ryu. Do they have the vision? They'll use the dust onto him. They need a little bit more. They're slowing him down a lot. Whitebeard nearly getting it, and he will let Fluff and stuff get the last hit in there. Now Jenkins has to get away, throws out the LSA, hitting onto the Fluff and stuff Spear Breaker, but he gets the charge to the high ground, stopping Jenkins in his tracks. TC still putting out the big damage, and they'll also get the kill onto him. Now the LSA hits on the 3. Lucky bash from Fluff and stuff. Can they actually find this kill? They need a little bit more. The disruption is going to be there. They're going to have to work with the creep wave. And with the TPs coming in from the supports, Fire will be forced back out of that one. So they come back with some kills in the lane. Team Red getting a bit too far out there. At bottom, Brax is starting to get a little bit more up close and personal with Monster, who has gone for an early level into Bash. His damage being decreased by the Anchor Smash. Brax should start to take more of a lead in this lane. At top, Fluff and stuff looking for that next charge. Ryu's getting a little bit close here, and the dust is available, but this time Luna isn't really close to this at all, so they wouldn't really have the damage that they need to kill off Bounty Hunter. Now Annihilate starts to run towards Brax a little bit. Brax is going to backstroke some more. He seems to be happy that the Life Stealer is there to help out the Slardar. More friends to play with. Were you looking for the courier in the mid lane? Just looking for the snipe. He's also going to scout out Fluff and stuff coming over. Slardar, meanwhile, will get into the top lane. Brax versus the Lifesteer changes the matchup a little bit. He will chase down Fluff and stuff slightly there, looking for the courier again. His timing is going to be slightly off. Might be able to get it on the way back. Speed boost is available, and they do use it there to get away from Ryu. Cannot quite find the kill there. That's what happens when you rotate a little bit late. Past the 3-minute mark onto a flying courier. It's a little bit easier to get when it's walking, but when it's flying, you can't really do more of the same. Ryu, okay, there's a... Okay, missed arrow from Brink. They need a little bit of help from Brax if they want to get this kill. Fluff and stuff hoping for a bash, but they're not going to be able to find it. LSA hits onto pretty much everything on those steps. Over at top, we got Whitebeard getting a little bit low, but Monster's been forced away from this one, and he'll also sprint out. Brax again making life difficult for Annihilate at bottom, but he does have quite a bit of, well, has some damage anyway. That Anchor Smash damage decrease is just so strong right now, honestly. Taking Annihilate down to about 32. It's really ridiculous how much work that does. Brax is getting a lot of farm here. Now Brax possibly in some trouble. Hits that Anchor Smash onto Ryu. He's very low on mana. Might decide to turn this around. LSA is going to hit. Brax taking a lot of damage here. He has to eat the mango to get his mana back for another Anchor Smash. Meanwhile, at top, Slardar possibly getting a little bit doved. But Fluff and Stuff doesn't have enough mana for another charge. So Slardar gets away. 29 going forward against Brink. He's also got a double damage rune, which is not really something that Mirana's going to want to deal with at all. Brax actually... No, he wasn't stacking the Ancients at all. He just backstroke back into the lane. Tinker's currently the top on the CS. Should be a pretty quick boost of travel for him. So we're just farming for the first bit of this match. There were a couple of kills. Fire's currently ahead there. The Slardar is finding some levels at top, currently at level 6, so he could start to throw out some corrosive hazes. And with him as more of a core position, his blink tagger timing should be slightly better than if he were a support. Although he's not really being allowed to get as much farm right now, being switched to the other lane. Now, Stewart trying to get away. Brax is swimming in. LSA is going to hit onto him, just onto his belly. Doesn't really seem to make Headhunter happy at all. He is at level 6. So if these heroes start to get into bad position, he could always go for the Ravage. When he has it off cooldown, that is. Brink is still farming up pretty well at mid. Whitebeard sitting inside the Roshan pit. And the Mirana pick up the regeneration rune inside the bottle. TC doing very little damage with that level 3. Also the range drop making things difficult for him. Only a level 3 Lucent Beam. Alright, Mirana only getting 1 out of 3 of those creeps that she tried to hit with the Starfall. Brax forced away from the lane again. We do have Ryu caught out inside the jungle. He's not been dusted. Can he get invisible? Corrosive Haze is there. Can Ryu get out? Oh, Disruption goes out into Slardar and TC manages to find the kill. Now Monster, his crush is down. Whitebeard's trying to block him in. There's going to be a charge in. The stun comes out even though Slardar does get the crush off. Lucent Beam is there, but Fire are way too low in the top lane. And Whitebeard with the Corrosive Haze, he's got to get those creeps off his back because he's taking so much damage from them, honestly, right now. So 29 still farming up really well. 400 gold from his Boots of Travel should be a very good timing from him. Fluff and Stuff is ready with another charge. Maybe he can go for Ryu if he gets a little bit too far forward again. Cherry Toss does damage to TC. Not really seeing a whole lot of raindrops on Fire right now. I think they would be very beneficial, especially when you have the raindrops. I mean, when you have a lot of magic damage coming in from, say, the Tinker or the Slardar, you probably should have more raindrops in there. Jenkins as well, really big. Nice me a Red going over to the high ground. Luna's just waiting there, has the Eclipse available. The stun comes out and the Eclipse gets popped. They'll go with the crush, but he gets the bounty rune and the kill on Slardar. Yeah, that's what a vision advantage is going to do for you. Allow you to just turn it right away. If it were a Leicester, things might have been different there, but Slardar has no way to get around the magic damage this early into the game. And the Tinker now has his Boots of Travel. About 8.5 minutes on those. Alright, now forced away from the lane again. Anchor Smash comes out from Brax. There's the open wounds. Slardar wants to get into this one. Brax, he's got the Ravage available. And Disruption will keep Leicester out of the fight. Now maybe Brax keeps forcing out that Ravage. Crush will go on to him only. But he's still taking very little damage as a result of this. Tinker comes in with just one set of rockets. It's not going to do all that much. Jenkins taking another Lucent Beam, is getting charged by Spirit Breaker, and she doesn't have enough mana for, well, she does have enough mana for an LSA after popping the Magic Stick. Fluff and Stuff just turns around and goes for the tier 1 tower with TC. So it was very smart not to go for that. Keep an eye on the mana. Okay, there's going to be the disruption, throwing out the arrow. It's going to be on the mark on the Ryu. They need some vision for it, but the Shadow Demon just does not have any detection, and that is what's going to spell the difference for the Bounty Hunter. He was dead to rights there, but when he gets a Shadow Walk off, it's definitely easy for him to escape when there's no detection. TC in some trouble right now. Monster's going to go to the high ground. He uses a Lucid Beam onto the creep, and that's going to be the Laguna Blade killing him off. I guess TC really wanted the gold there. Moonlight Shadow from Brink. He's got the double damage rune as well. Annihilate going into Brax a little bit, doing very little damage, and the Anchor Smashes are going to eventually add up. Annihilate cannot keep that up forever. Brax wants to go forward. His damage isn't too great against the Lifestealer either, with all the armor and the stout shield. There's only so much that a Tidehunter is going to be able to do. Arrow comes through, but that's not going to worry the Lifestealer at all. He'll just stay in the trees for now. Have to keep an eye on Blaine9 because he can very quickly get some items up. Push goes in on the tier 1 tower bottom. TC's doing quite a bit to it. And Cardi the Catapult also going ham. We've got Whitebeard possibly in some trouble. Monster's gonna get here, has the crush available, throws it out. Shadow Demon in a lot of trouble, and the magic damage should be completely enough. Disruption will just delay the inevitable as Slaughter finds the right Shadow Demon immediately and gets the kill. Now we've got some Mirana illusions going to mid. They're not going to find all that much. Maybe the arrow from Mirana nearly onto Monster, but it's just going to hit onto the air monsters. Air monsters equal dead. On the top lane, Fluff and Stuff getting away from the gang squad of Jenkins and Lena. Did I just say Jenkins and Lena? Because Jenkins is Lena. Oh well. We've had a lot of Dota tonight. We might actually have our second 3-game set that goes to 3 games. We'll have to see if Team Fire can bring this back. They're looking a little bit better in game 2. Luna's managed to get some farm as TC and stuff with the corrosive haze on him. They still want to try to go onto the tier 1, but the rockets will come in quite a bit from Tinker, and he'll keep rearming them. Charge on the top lane. Jenkins might be in some trouble. The 4-5 will get used. Jenkins TP's away. You know that the Spirit Breaker is going up there, and he's going to be forced to cancel the charge. TC staying on the mid lane. Monster could go in here, but the Helm of the Dominator has been picked up for him. So we might be able to see it actually be effective here, as it was picked up without Team Red having as much pressure. Team Fire will try to finish off this tower. We got Monster, not even close to his Blink Dagger. He's about 1200 gold away. He'll just keep putting out corrosive hazes. And eventually that's going to force Team Fire away from the fight. But they're still taking down some tier 1s, and that's, I think, really what their lineup is supposed to do, make sure that they can get the early pushes. But Team Red want to try to stop this, so they will go with these 3-men smoke in the jungle. TC could get caught out. Monster will put in the corrosive haze, they'll get the track off as well. Buff and Stuff, he'll go forward. We've got Brink with the Starf on the high ground. Eclipse is going to finish off the Slardart. They'll get the LSA out onto the Luna, but they're not going to be able to find the kill. Trying to get the Luna away from the Bounty Hunter. It was forced away from the fight. He just walks over to top, but 2 heroes get killed by that turnaround from Team Fire.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So Brink, he's going to try to defend the tower. Also Spirit Breaker going on to Ryu. He has the ultimate available. There's the Shuri toss. Buff and Stuff uses the ultimate, and he needs a lucky bash. He'll get it. Ryu taking, oh, that's 2 bashes. He'll throw out the dust as well. Ryu finding turning invisible. Tinker coming in this one, and Fluff and Stuff can't find the kill. Oh no, that'll be it. Red showing up to save poor old Ryu. And the laser coming in at the right place at the right time. So that's actually quite a bit of gold going to Team Red. Also Tinker getting involved there, able to find the kill, helping him on his way towards the Blink Dagger, getting a huge amount of farm early. Mirana will be at the Aghanim Scepter soon. Now, I Annihilate, he just sees Brax there, and he's not going to be too afraid of it, but he should be a little bit more afraid as Spirit Breaker starts to charge down his butt. Josh gets thrown out, possibly scaring I Annihilate away. He doesn't have a lot of wards here, but he possibly did see Spirit Breaker charging through that ward that was a very deep ward placed down in the bottom lane. Whitebeard rotating around, was scared out by Ryu. Oh, Fluff and Stuff is gonna see him. Checking to see if there was a ward on the high ground. Brax starts to backstroke in. Here comes the arrow off the mark from Mirana. Fire can't really push into March the Machines right now. And Jenkins is right now still solo pushing in top. I Annihilate might be a little bit caught out at mid. The charge can come through, and it's going to go out onto Ryu. There's a Lucent Beam killing him off as well. They need some vision. He goes invisible, and he's going to die to the Demonic Purge. Lyseur infests the creep to get away. Another kill onto Ryu. It's going to make him think twice about staying close to the Lyseur next time. Some very nice deep wards placed down by Jenkins, and I think that's part of the reason why we don't see Fluff and Stuff able to get as many kills. He is not going to see the Lena there as she goes for a little bit of farm. Over by the hard camp, he's still looking for the vision, but he goes to the low ground, and she doesn't see the Spirit Breaker just yet, and he does see her. He TP's away though. And right now, Brax is still farming up in bottom. So we have a bunch of heroes right now that are just very concerned with farming their own thing. Oh, Arrow's going to miss on the Bloody 9. Here comes the charge. Fluff and Stuff has the ultimate available. They need to get this out on the Tinker. Starfall comes down. Now the laser is going to make it difficult for the Spirit Breaker to hit. I think he was just trying to go for the kill because he knew that he was going to die there eventually. Teamfire finding another one. Brax is not thrown out a Ravage yet. He's got a couple of hats on, the Shark and the Bones me. DC getting the Ace Rune as well. We've got to charge out onto Ryu. Perhaps Spirit Breaker can find another one. He doesn't have an ultimate right now. He'll just go in for the Midas, and at bottom we've got Jenkins found by the Lucent Beam. Throws out the LSA, but just gives a kill over to TC, and we're starting to see Fire clicking onto a few cylinders right now. Monster, that's the Blink Dagger being delivered to him right now, and he will smoke with the Courier as well, trying to get that first Infest gank off. Looking at the items on Lyseur, he's got his Armlet, and this would be a very bad situation for Fire. TC could get cut out. The rockets there, and there's a lot of damage. Ina is not going to be stopped by the Ravage. Eclipse trying to do some work. TC staying alive. He can't find the kill though. Brax will get the Anchor Smash to finish off the Slaughter, and Ina wants to chase him down, but here comes Fluff and Stuff with the charge out on the Ryu. Jenkins can't stop him at all, and the LSA hasn't been thrown out just yet. Bloody 9. Oh, Fluff and Stuff trying to go away. There's not going to be a stop to it because the LSA was missed by Jenkins. Not able to find the stun. And pretty even fight. Team Fire getting 2 kills. Team Red only finding 1. Very similar gold changes for each one as well. With the Blink Dagger now picked up by Brax, he can get some better Ravages off next time. Gonna charge out onto Annihilate at bottom. He does have the Infest up in 5 seconds. Here comes Fluff and Stuff. Annihilate's very tanky. Oh, he's actually going for the Courier. Okay. Okay. You did that. He canceled the charge, went for the ultimate onto a Courier, and then just got 3 heroes surrounding him so he couldn't do anything. Poor Courier, honestly. I don't think it deserves all that much hate. Monster also still has the Lyseur inside of him. So they can get that blink initiation off. Brink does have his Aghanim Scepter up. So he's got a little bit more farm coming his way as well. You can see that he's going to be building up the Blink Dagger next. Or maybe the Brink Dagger. Terrible jokes. See, when I don't have a co-caster, which I don't really feel like picking up for this league because I have no friends and I don't think I get paid enough to make friends for this. Plus I don't really care. I mean, it's just a lot easier to cast by myself sometimes. But I have to make fun of my own jokes by myself when I don't have a co-caster, so that you guys, when you see this 2 minutes later, you can groan with me, because that's about all those jokes deserve. Puffin stuff about to... they have a lot of vision of themselves right now. Whitebeard, he is smoked up. Ryu on the high ground, and there's not going to be vision of him at all. We're going to use Moonlight Shadow. The track's coming out. The Ravage is there. Luna's been caught out, and she will die a very terrible death as Bloody Nine gets out. We've got the charge out on the monster. Ultimate's still available. Buff and stuff can't get it out. He'll try to go forward. Whitebeard looking for the disruption, but again, Suarez too slippery of a fish for him to catch. You still want to try to find some kills all over the place. I Annihilate finding the tower. We've got the charge out onto Ryu. He's stopping him in his tracks now. Fluff and stuff can't really go onto this one. He needs the rest of his team. Tinker's here as well. The dust does get used. Blink, crush. There is Fluff and stuff dead. And Red might think about going for Roche. Okay, nice. A carrier of the Shuri toss over to Luna, doing a slight bit more damage there. Monster wants to go in, but Brax is right with the Ravage, and he's going to get crushed. Here comes the Eclipse, lots of damage. TC taking life steer to the face. He has to start to get away. The Anchor Smash is making things a little bit slower, but he gets the damage that he needs. Now Brax has to somehow stay alive. Guardian Gleam's available. Did not use those to save the Luna. And another charge is going on to Annihilate top. I don't know what my frames are doing there. Stuff is still going over there as Annihilate TP's out. Ryu will get out as well. Jenkins the only one left here, and that Frost Ogre is going to have a lot to say about this. Arrow off the mark from Brink. LSA is going to be there, turning it around with the Luna Blade. Jenkins trying to find the kill, and he will be able to. He will eventually die to TC's Frost Ogre Mage, but man, that is going to be Brink really paying for missing the arrow. You can't do that. You cannot do that, especially when you have a charge down by Spirit Breaker. Anyway, Anchor currently at the top of the net worth. He's nearly at his Aghanim Scepter as well. So if this push ever does come from Fire, and they're having a lot of trouble pushing into tier 2s, they're gonna have both the March from Machines and then Aghanim Scepter from Tinker to push into, as well as the initiation. It's gonna get to the point where, in order to push into the base, Team Fire absolutely have to get some pickoffs around the map. Some more Luna Allegiance, and Fire haven't really been using that at all. Almost like they forgot how to play Dota or something, with not having the competitive experience or something. Just not really as cohesive as a lot of teams that we've been seeing right now. They certainly have the potential with their experience to... They certainly have the experience to have the potential to be good, but they need a little bit more work as a team, clearly. Ryu running in as a bounty hunter with the life stealer inside. He's going to see TC getting a little bit of vision of the entire squad here, and Tinker's going to do a very good job of keeping this pushed out. Brax over to the side. They got no vision. Okay, they do see Ryu there with the gem getting in. Where is their gem? It's on Shadow Demon right now. Look at the huge damage from the rockets. Oh, Bloody Knight's been hit by an arrow. That's huge. They need to get the damage onto him. Spirit Breaker ultimate is there. Ravage will keep him out of the fight. And Jenkins, they've lost the gem. They're going to be able to get him there, though. And only the Shadow Demon dying so far, which could result in a tier 2 tower for Team Fire, and maybe more. Lucky for Red that the Shadow Demon is down, though, because the illusions would definitely make the push a lot faster. Over in mid, we've got Monster getting chased down by Fluff and stuff. There is a crush available. Brax is here, and Smarter can't turn around fast enough. He didn't have the crusher. He does get it on the 2. Can they get anything else? Brax would have to blink for it, but they don't have the range that they need in order to find him. So with Monster getting a crush on the 2, he's able to get away. And he might be able to also find a kill on the Fluff and stuff. Vision wasn't great. He would have been blindly going into it. So he'll think better of it. But it would have been interesting to see him go, because I'm sure that Team Fire didn't expect much from a Slaughter in that situation. And we go into Roshan. He's ready to put out the Corrosive Haze. Now it's just in there. Also put Desolator on him, so damage's output is pretty huge. There's no vision here at all from Team Fire. Very easy Roshan for Team Red, and Aegis for the Lifestealer. Back to the top lane, Team Red go. They smoke up immediately, looking for someone to try to pick off. We got Fluff and stuff waiting in the trees here over by the side shop, and Brink might have just been caught out. Ryu's gonna be there, all nice leap away from the crush, but Monster is still ready for it. They'll have a Shuri Toss to slow him down. Brink has gotten away. More Luna illusions are being made, so it seems like his team really didn't seem to mind that the Mirana was getting chased down. They just trusted him to stay alive, because otherwise the disruption would have gone to him. Brax making his way again down the bottom. He's going to be going for the Lotus Orb next. Gonna take a little TP in there. Immediately blink away. He's going to keep himself out of trouble right now. This next item will be a Lotus Orb as well. Breaker charge out on the bottom, and we've got Ryu at mid. Here's the disruption. Arrow's going to come in, but a little bit late. Ryu very easily gets away from that one. Is the damage going to be there? They need a Starfall, and the Spirit Breaker just slaps him in the face. Now we have the kill onto Bladebeard on the backside of this one. They're looking for a kill. Now is taking a lot of damage, but look at the laser all over the place. Finally, that Ravage does hit. Eclipse also doing a lot of work. Tinker taking a lot of damage from it. He's gonna get surrounded by a few. Team Fire seem to be just on fire right now, just blazing all over Team Red, and that's gonna be 4 down. Tinker dead. He's not gonna be able to defend this, and the Lifestealer the only one to try to keep this alive. Buybacks are all available for the red team at this point, but if they use them, that's gonna be even more of an advantage to Fire. Buyback by Lina. She could definitely keep this pushed out, taking care of the creep wave. Fortify will be there, using the Dragon Slave from very far away. Even further away with the 8th one's arrow off the mark. LSA keeping them all looking up the air. Why me? Dragon Slave will keep pushing this out, but GC, he knows what he wants. He's gonna find the tier 3 tower. Or, yeah, he will. Ish. Yeah. Okay. Ryu wants to get in here. Stars start falling on his face, and Jenkins gets a couple of glaives bouncing around. Arrow's gonna be off the mark again from Brink. Hasn't really been too great with those as Jenkins tries to get away from the illusions, eventually farming up. Now they might want to go in here, crush him from the Slaughter. They found the Shadow Demon. They cannot really defend that at all. Fire have to keep retreating. Looking for some more farm for Team Fire. We've got Luna up to a Hurricane Pike. Brink can buy up his Yule Scepter sometime. And then the next item will be a Refresher Orb for Tidehunter. So we'll see double Ravage soon, and the Ravage was used pretty well in the last fight. Monster looking inside the jungle for that pick off, that nice juicy pick off, using a minus along the way. Team Fire striking the base first, just showing how effective that team fight can be, and how much Team Red really did not want to keep dropping those. Monster found that in the trees by the creeps. Those pesky creeps are so annoying when they try to find you like that. Really nice in the trees. Throws out the marked machines on the Brax. Max will be able to get away from it pretty well. He does take quite a bit of damage, and Team Fire are still going on the mid. They have a Ravage up in 13 seconds. It might be their time. Brink keeps trying to keep the lead pushed out, but Tinker's up right now. They'll have to find a way to kill him if they actually want to kill these racks. They'll start to go in. The charge will go to the top lane from Fluff and Stuff, and Arrow is not going to hit anywhere close to the Tinker. So we can start to work onto the racks. TC up to the high ground. But the laser just makes things so difficult for him. We've got Fluff and Stuff still going for Annihilate, and he's going to throw out the ultimate, keeping him there. No TP for you, sir. But exactly how much does that do for Fire? I don't really think it's all that much. The laser just walks back. Sure, they get a little damage onto the range tracks, but Melee's going to heal back up. This really doesn't do too much. And also take Fluff and Stuff away from the fight. Although he's really just good for a charge bowling everyone over. Team Fire really want to make sure that they don't overstay their welcome. The Legions are still taking down these racks. They could get a range tracks out of this. They're just looking for when they can get that big initiation. Illusion's still going to work, but Laser makes this kind of push very difficult, and they keep throwing in the Luna illusions, which you give quite a bit of gold over to the Tinker. Taking a look at his gold right now, he's up to 1,000 inside the base. Ravage is soon from Brax, but he is taking a lot of damage still. I guess the more units you get in there, the more lasers are spread out among everybody. Here comes the initiation to the backside. Wayfair taking a lot of damage. He needs to get the disruption off on himself. He's taking a lot of damage. The rockets will come in. There's the Ravage on the backside. Eclipse doing so much. Knight forced away from this one. Jenkins will die. Rio caught out inside the base. Tinker, he will be able to throw out the lasers here. They will try to jump onto him though. Dual Scepter looking for the arrow. He'll be hit by the Lucent Beam, and Tinker's dead. He'll throw out one last laser to stop the push by Fire, but they can keep going in right now. More illusions of Luna. They might be able to break everything with all these buybacks being down from Fire. They are from Red rather. They're not Red anymore. They're pretty much dead. I don't know how much Leicester is going to be able to do here. We have 15 seconds on our next respawn from Ryu, but there's no guarantee that he doesn't die just as soon as he comes back as well. Second set of racks possibly going to Team Fire. They might have broken this game wide open. TC's Luna ends up getting those blades bouncing all over the place. They don't have the tier 2 tower down on top, but they take 2 sets of racks off the map. That is absolutely huge for Team Fire, as they had a lot of trouble finding kills on Team Red earlier. And now they break this game wide open. And I think it's just really, oh no. 29's in the top lane. Fluff and Stuff finds the ultimate. They might have just killed him off again. Bloody 9. Bloodied and killed at top. This is just not his day when he's got a Spirit Breaker running up to him and ulting him with the Shadow Blade. That was, I'm sure, very annoying for him. The monster wants to find some kind of revenge. He's got the smoke, and he's going to run right into Team Fire, looking for the initiation. Those glaives are going to start bouncing onto him, canceling the Blink Dagger. Jenkins going to get caught out. Dual Scepter is there from Brink. He's going to throw out the arrow. He's been stunned now, and Slaughter cannot help him out at all. He'll blink away from the danger. And Brink, this Dual Scepter seems to be going quite well for him. He was having a bit of a difficult time earlier. Monster getting Annihilate out of him. The push will come in top. Yeah, he was having a bit of a difficult time earlier hitting the arrows, but it seems like Shadow Demon disruptions aren't really good setup for him. He prefers his Dual Scepters, clearly. Maybe a bit shorter duration on the arrows, but I don't know, maybe it's just a personal preference thing. Roshan's going to be back up. The last tier 2 tower is now dead. Smoke gets used, TC gets a couple of illusions made of him. Martial Machine still going on, causing those Luna illusions to take a lot of damage. Team Fire could back up and just start going for the shrines, but TC wants to get these towers down now, he'll pop the illusions and keep going on this. So this illusion is dying so very quickly. And here comes Brax in with the Ravage. He's done everything. Tinker's dead again. LSA is going to keep them out, but Brax, he's going to keep on going onto the Luna. Buyback from Tinker. We've got Mirana put up in the air with her own Scepter. Brax, he's in a lot of trouble right now. Team Fire took a lot of death after that one, and they're all going to get scouted out by the Sentry Ward. Gem is now on the ground. Team Red taking a big fight there, and they're going to TP over their shrine, looking for a little bit more. Bloody Nine blinking forward, and he's gonna finish off the team wipe. 4,600 gold their way after just holding their base. The only unfortunate thing for them is these towers are still very pushed in, so they're gonna need a couple of more of those before they can even think about winning this game. And Team Red, they have quite a few advantages when it comes to the buybacks. If we look at that right now, Luna and Mirana both have those up. Same with the Shadow Demon. Leicester and Bounty Hunter, ones on the Radiant side, that will have those. So the Leicester are very valuable to have, but not having it up on the Tinker is possibly going to be very detrimental. Nice, still looking for his farm. It'll be a Lincoln Sphere for him. Be very good, but I thought the Tidehunter would be close to a Refresher, but he's got actually the Aghanim Scepter instead. TC getting an Alpha Wolf for himself. Gonna have to be a lot more careful when they go for a base push again. Can't really run in like that. I mean, sure, they did get a couple of kills, but then the buybacks just came out, and now we see that wave forward. The big gush from Brax. Roshan is up. Moonlight Shadow. Red will be forced away from this one. And where's our Gem? Gem is on the Slardar now. Now Ryu could get caught out. He sees Brink. Some vision of him dropping down the Observer and the Sentry, making sure that there's nothing here at all from Fire, but they'll be able to take down the Shrine. Might go a little bit further. The Wolf goes over towards Ryu. Not going to be scouting him out just yet. We do still have a Gem on Tidehunter, so if Ryu gets close to it, he's going to have to be really careful. The scan comes out from the Dire. They see a hero there for a second. Illusions will be made. We've got Tidehunter waiting out on the high ground. And he's actually right underneath the Radiant Observer and Sentry, so Jenkins can go in. We've got Monster going to the back lines. We've got a lot of damage out on the fluff and stuff. He'll be the first one blown up right now. TC wants to get in the middle of everything, but he's not got a whole lot of backup. He needs Brax to show up. Meanwhile, on the backside, Brax is getting harassed out by Jenkins. He's looking for Annihilate, keeping the Leicester out of the fight. Monster pops the BKB. He will end up dying. TC's a bigger man than him. Now it slowed down a little bit thanks to the Gush. Jenkins still hanging out on the high ground. TC might just decide to go for the Aegis with this. And now Gem picked up by Brax. They're going right on the Ryu. Slowed down a little bit with the Shuri Toss. Another arrow's going to miss. Basically the norm for Mirana. So the Gush will come through as soon as Ryu gets out of the disruption. And TC is still going to the Roshan. Might think about Jenkins pretty soon, making sure that the mid lane stays pushed out. And Annihilate, making sure that top gets pushed out as well. Only had a couple of small heroes getting killed off in that fight, but it might have been enough. You're still making sure that Fire can't take the top lane at all, which is the only lane that has a tier 3 tower still in it. So Brax will get chased down by the bunch of machines, throwing out the Gusher, the creep wave. Trying to push this in. Double damage right now on Luna. Also an Aegis on her. Butterfly. She's got a pretty full build right now. Nice amount of gold. Luna will go forward. Throwing out another bunch of machines, making things difficult for Team Fire. It's the creep wave. Luke's getting taken out. Arrow will come through. It's not going to hit on anything. Jenkins nearly running into it just because he loves arrows. Arrows are his friend. Here comes Luna with the illusions. Not going to the high ground right now. Let that creep wave go. Meanwhile, Slaughter is going with a crush somewhere. Somewhere in the world, Slaughter is crushing. Here comes Braxton with the gush, making Jenkins a little bit scared. He's also going to show off his backstroke skills. Very important to show those off. Yeah, the LSA keeps getting thrown out, and those creeps are pushing in the mid, which makes the defense a little bit more difficult for Team Red. Have the creeps in the base. More Luna illusions keeping the mid lane pushed out. And the push will make sure that the tier 3 tower goes down. Now they do find the LSA on the Luna. They'll also get the Dragon Slave. Oh, Lotus Orb, making it so that Jenkins feels all the pain from that Laguna Blade. He has to be very careful here, making sure that he doesn't get caught out. Sparta hasn't been able to find the initiation just yet, and Team Fire are feeling like they have to be pretty far back. TC is still pretty low, and his illusions are not going to be all that strong right now. She'll TP back and go back to the shrine, get some of that health. And Team Fire are going to postpone their push for a little bit longer. Still got a gem on Tide. Gem on the Shadow Demon as well. They still have an Aegis on Luna. Red are holding this one pretty valiantly. If you look at their buybacks, which are pretty important at this point. Oh no, Brink is going to find Jenkins. Wasn't even looking there, but the E-Blade Starfall combo. Doing pretty well there. Alright, buybacks. We have one on Swardar. That's a little bit harrowing. Tinker should have his up in about 10 seconds, which is a pretty good timing if you're Team Red. Still throwing out the Martian Machines. Fire will have to be very careful here. Arrow coming through, not hitting on anything. TC taking a little bit of damage from this. Fortify gets used, meaning that TC is going to be forced back. Guardian Greaves as well. Ogre Frost Mage making it so that these illusions possibly a little bit more tanky. And we'll throw down the illusions. And there comes the Swardar into the middle of the fight. No crush thrown out. Bucking Stuff takes a lot of damage. We'll pop the Blade Mail. And they will just very quickly get back away from each other. Aegis will be gone soon, so you would think that Team Fire have to make their play in just a few moments. Range Rax starting to be in some trouble. Oh, the arrow hits onto the Swardar. We're gonna have a blink over, and can they actually kill the Swardar? Do they even care about it? We got Brink. There's the double Starfall, and it's going to kill off the Swardar. He's not got buyback. Lots of damage, going to keep the Luna alive for now. He still has the Aegis, is going to get popped right now. Brax looking for the Ravage. He's going to throw it out just as he nearly dies. Starfall out on the Eye Annihilate. He does not have the buyback equipped, wreaking havoc inside the Radiant base, and Fire might have just won this game number 2. Buyback by Brax. He's going to get right back into the middle of this one. No Ravage for him, and he's not got his Refresher Orb either. So he's going to try to just walk back down after TPing to the shrine. We've got Glaze bouncing all over the place. Brink nearly killing himself off. Arrow's going to be thrown out. It's going to be missing on the Bloody 9, but that might just be the game. Can Tinker even keep this knocked out? He needs more mana. Disruption on the Luna, keeping her alive. More illusions for her, and they are going to kill off Bloody 9. That should be the GG as Team Fire win game number 2 of this best of 3 set. Bloody 9 attacking the middle of everything. They're not going to give up, but I think they might be forced to. TC will die, but the throne will as well. Team Fire taking game number 2 away from Team Red. That means that we are heading into a game number 3, guys, because